What's going on, guys? Shonen Express here, delivering you my review of One Piece Chapter 949, Mummy. The first thing that I want to discuss in this chapter, because it really stuck out to me, was Chopper. Right away, we see Chopper fighting alongside Luffy. Initially we see Luffy, but I love when Chopper gets some time to shine. We rarely ever see that from Chopper. We rarely ever see him angry in the series. I really like when that happens. And of course that would happen. We are using a virus weapon in this chapter, and so of course Chopper, being the doctor and the good-natured doctor that he is, would get upset at that. So I just loved seeing Chopper so angry, for sure. Watching the other members of the Alliance that were in the prison, watching them fight was really cool too. I was really happy that we got to see a little bit of them. Like Hyogoro's thing was kind of like whatever. He had a sword for some reason. I actually didn't think he would fight using swords, but it's cool to see that he does. So we saw a little bit of that, as well as I love Okiku's mask. I think it's awesome. I think that mask is so cool looking. I hope that he or she, not sure at this point which to define Okiku as, but I hope that they stick with the mask. Also, Kawamatsu is awesome. I love looking at him. I think his character design is so cool. I would not have guessed that Oda would make him kind of like a short, rounder kind of Kappa, but I think it's awesome that he did, and I'm really excited. He used another sumo type move. I forget what it was called. I think it's like something Kiri, I don't know, but they said it was a sumo type move, so that's really cool. I think it's cool that he uses sumo moves, but he's a samurai, so I want to watch out for that. And of course, Raizo, we see Raizo fight, and I'm not sure if we have seen Raizo fight in the past, but it was really cool seeing him fight this time. I thought he did a really cool job. I like that he screams lightning shuriken when he throws normal shuriken, but I thought it was really cool that we got to see all of them fight and all of them have a moment to really shine, just like Luffy and Chopper did, a panel or two before them. But I thought it was really cool to see that. Then, what is up with Kid? So Kid is, for those of you who don't know, one of my favorite supernovas. He's one of my favorite. Right when they were introduced, I looked at Kid and I was like, I love his design. I love him. I hope that he does really awesome things, and we know that he's locked up right now, and Raizo throws those keys to him, but Kid has this kind of look on his face of like complacency, like he's not willing to get involved, and he's almost kind of angry looking. So I really want to see what that means. Why is he angry looking and all that kind of thing? I wanna know what's going on with Kid. I think that for sure by the end of this arc, we are gonna get another panel where Kid, Luffy, and Law are lined up in a row, and I think they're going to be fighting Kaido then. I think, I'm very confident, since all of them are there, that is the plan. I'm not going to say I'd be disappointed if it wasn't, but I would, I'm expecting it. So I know the Kid, or I'm pretty sure the Kid will join up with us eventually, with the Alliance eventually. But right now, he seems kind of irritated at everything's going on and kind of complacent. And we did just see that Kamizo is killer. So there's a lot going on with Kid. But I wanted to mention that because Kid is one of my favorite supernovas, one of my favorite characters. So I want to see what's going on with him. So the biggest thing that I think this chapter reveals, actually, I'll say second biggest thing. I won't say that this was the biggest part of the chapter, but certainly a runner-up is all the info we got about the excitement bullets. These are really interesting. First of all, I think it's really cool that Queen developed them. I think it gives a different side of Queen's character that we haven't seen. I hope that what it means is that Queen is intelligent. I think it'd be really cool if Queen actually was responsible for inventing these. It seems like he is, but I hope we, stay with that knowledge being true, because I think it's really cool that Queen has developed these excitement bullets, especially that he's the plague. I think it's a really cool idea. But what these bullets do is, they're like an infectious disease, and the disease is called the mummy virus. And the mummy virus pretty much turns people, it makes you feel like a burning sensation, and it pretty much turns you into like zombie mommy kind of things. And all the prisoners get turned into that in this chapter, which is really cool to see. And I think, it makes sense that the guards are just kind of firing off. Although I will say, if everyone in the prison is infected, doesn't that mean that the guards would also get infected? It's just something that I was thinking about, that I was kind of confused as to why they would just be so chill to just haphazardly fire into the crowd, because they are still in there. So maybe they can't be affected, or they have the antidote or something. That could be. But I think it was cool that we learned that about the excitement bullets and what the effects are. And they're no joke. It's no joke. It's a bad virus. You don't want it. We can see that by how Chopper reacts. So it's definitely, you don't want the mummy virus. But I thought it was cool that we got a little more info on what the excitement bullets really are and what they do. Another thing I wanted to touch on, because we get the monologue from the prisoners, right? And how they're saying, oh, we're hopeless. We just wanted to go back to how it was, back to our daily lives. We wanted to return to that. Kaido is too strong. I realized, and I've realized this before, but how terrifying Kaido is to the people of Wano. Orochi is the one kind of mostly responsible for governing their everyday lives, but it's Kaido that is the power behind that. And they don't usually see Kaido. Kaido has become, to the people of Wano, this mythical demon monster dragon. And they say, do you know how terrifying it is? He's flying through the sky and all that as a dragon, this terrifying dragon. And I realized Kaido is terrifying. Kaido really is a nightmare for these people. And this was maybe one of the first times that I realized how nightmarish Kaido could be, not just how physically powerful he is. One of the last things, and definitely the coolest thing in this chapter, was Luffy. Luffy this week was amazing. He destroyed this notion of Kaido being overwhelming. I love when the prisoners say, oh, this is overwhelming. Look, this is one weapon built by one of Kaido's men. We can't stand a chance against him. And Luffy goes, what are you talking about? What devastation? What overwhelming power? This is nothing. And that was awesome. And he grabs him, and takes him down. And Chopper even is like, Luffy, don't touch them. This is real bad. But Luffy still does it. And Luffy goes, listen, I came here, and as soon as I got here, my friend Tama fed me. I'm going to make sure that you all get fed before I leave. That was an awesome Luffy moment. I love moments like that, and it makes chapters like this so enjoyable for me to read, for me to be able to review too. I love how awesome Luffy is. He's just not content with letting people be complacent. And I think a lot of us are complacent. And so, at least for me, I feel sometimes that I'm too complacent. And so when I see Luffy say stuff like that, he just doesn't understand. Why would you be complacent if you could fight? And I think it's so cool that he says that, so cool that he does that. And Luffy's just amazing. I think it's cool too that he remembers the promise to Tama. He's going to make sure everyone gets fed in Wano. That's one of his number one priorities, and he's going to beat Kaido for sure at this point. Definitely. One of the last things that I wanted to mention is that Luffy is still using his advanced observation haki. So that haki that he kind of awakened or got better at in his fight versus Katakuri, he's using it again. When Old Maid when Old Maid loads up the excitement shell with 200 mummy viruses in it or whatever into his trunk, Luffy ties the trunk off. That was awesome. And he says, I sense, I saw something dangerous. He is using that advanced observation haki to see a little into the future that he earned, or he awakened in his fight against Katakuri. I just thought it was really cool that we're still seeing it. I was worried that since this feels like the armament haki arc, that we were going to lose the observation haki achievements we've already had, or we were just going to not use them in this arc. We were going to focus more on armament because that was more important, but I'm really glad to see that Luffy is still able to use it, and he's able to use it even better than when he fought against Katakuri, and that was awesome. And just to see Luffy's confidence as he falls down, that the prisoners will take out the prison guards, was awesome. And the tables are turning. Udon has silently gone to the Allies' side. That is awesome. I think that this chapter gives us amazing things to think about for the future. Gives us a lot, certainly, that might change. First of all, we have all the prisoners of Udon on board. I will say Luffy is infected with the mummy virus, so I think we ought to get on healing that. But since Chopper's there, I feel a little better that Chopper might be able to figure something out, some kind of antidote, and get all the prisoners, and Luffy included, healed of the mummy virus while they're still in Udon and nobody knows they've taken over the prison. I think that is definitely going to happen, and so I think that this is, moving forward, that mummy virus is not going to be effective. We're going to find the antidote in this prison. I also think the kid will leave the prison with us. He's joining the Alliance before we leave this prison. And we've got a lot of, we got Kawamatsu out of the prison. We got Hyogoro out of the prison. We got some heavy hitters. Hopefully Hyogoro can bulk it up a little bit. We've got some heavy hitters out of this prison. So I'm really excited to see when they leave the prison, where they go, if they join up with the rest of the Alliance, and how they do that. I think we're definitely almost out of Udon prison as a whole, so I'm really excited to see where next week goes. I'm sure next week will be even better than this week. But this chapter was amazing. Leave your comments down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys thought about this chapter. Even if you disagree with me, even if you didn't like it that much, please tell me why. I'd love to know. But that's all for this delivery. Leave your comments down below, as I said, and give me a like and subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to bring you manga reviews every single week. And so I'd love to have you be one of my subscribers. So with that said, this is Shonen Express signing off.